Hey there, this is Lauren, owner of Imagined Awakenings, and I am ready to get creative with some resin. So, as usual, please remember safety first. Always use your safety gear whenever you are working with epoxy resin and work in a well-ventilated area. Alright, so here I am back with these Mandala Coasters. Oh my god. Should I just throw them in the trash? I'm just saying. They make really pretty coasters though. When I can get my life together. Okay, so here, that is to say, right here, I am going through and using, these are still the acrylic paint pens. And I am tracing the detail on the mold in the paint pen just to see if I can get the results I want. So this is what, the fourth? Is this the fourth? I feel like this is the fourth video I've done with the Mandala Coasters. The first one was when I tried to add paint after the fact. It was a huge disaster. And then the next one was when I had some chameleon powder and I just dusted the entire mold in the chameleon powder. Those turned out amazing. And then I think the last one I did, I started using these acrylic paint pens. Yes, I did. Okay. So, I think last video was the first time I attempted to use them. Yes, I did, because I used them on these and I also used them on one of my hamsa hands that has a lot of detail as well. I like trying this attempt or technique on molds that have a lot of detail because I really think it does a lot to just, bring it all out, just really accentuate give us some really good contrast. Let me actually say a complete sentence. Sorry. Okay, so I don't make you sit through me doing all four of them because that takes forever. But I did go over the first one with, I think this is a silver one, and I think I mentioned in the previous video as well, the metallic colors seem to stick the best. The acrylic paint pens, are they water-based? They're not oil-based, I know that. And I have a bit of a struggle getting them to adhere to the molds, the silicone molds. I think there's something about oils being in silicone molds or something. I could be lying or making it up. Hopefully I'm not. But it's just it bubbles up as if I am trying to mix oil and water, kind of. The metallics work better though, because I've tried it with different colors. I want to say before this video, I was actually attempting to do a gray. It did not go. That's why you didn't see the video, and there's none listed on my site because it just was not happening. And I was like, what I'm not gonna do sit here and fight with this. So I did not. Instead I scrapped it and decided to go to another color. So here I went with a metallic silver. At least I think it's a silver. It looks silvery. It's either silver or white. Now I'm just at the line. I think it's silver. Whatever color. Is it white? Look, it doesn't matter. This color stuck better than the gray. And I was kind of sad because I really wanted to try that gray. But you know what? On the horizon, things are coming. There's a change happening. And perhaps I'll be able to use some gray in the future with some different kind of pens. Hint, hint. Okay. So anywho, markers, pens, whatever they are. So I am going through and just making sure that every little bit that I want to accent is covered in the paint pen stuff. And I kind of have to go over each section kind of multiple times, especially the wider kind of sections. Like the thin lines are really easy. I wish that would stop. Do y'all hear that? I hope y'all don't hear that. I'm sorry. Anyway, the thinner lines are easier, just maybe one time, two times. But the thicker parts, yeah, that was up close real fast. Now they're all 4 done. I think it's white. It looks more white than silver. So white worked decently as well, actually, but typically it was just the metallics. Those are the only ones that just agreed with me. So here I am pouring my resin. I poured part B first, and then I poured part A. So B is the hardener and A is the resin. And it just, I got the suggestion, I want to say, from the manufacturer or distributor's website. And so I've just done it like that ever since. And I do feel like it does mix and combine better with less bubbles. I usually warm up each part. There's controversy and confusion about whether or not you should do that, but I don't use like hot water. It's just warm-ish water, especially in the cooler temperatures. When it's hotter like it is now, I don't necessarily always do it, but this resin is thicker than the newer stuff that I just recently bought, and so it does make it easier to pour and combine it. I look like I'm stirring really fast, but I'm not. I sped it up by like, I don't know, 4 times. I actually stir fairly slowish to try to help avoid bubbles as much as possible, because I don't want it to be just full of them. A few bubbles don't bother me. Some people are just like really super anal and picky about it, and no judgment. Do you, whatever makes you happy with your resin, but I just don't think it totally ruins the piece, you know. And sometimes they can add to a piece anyway, but I don't want it to just be full of bubbles, you know. So anyway, I'm getting toward the end of the stirring here, as it looks like it's getting fairly clear. I always make sure that I scrape the sides and the bottom as I stir, and let's just make sure it's fully incorporated. With this particular resin, I usually I stir for 6 minutes because that's what they recommend. So I usually pour both parts, put a timer on the microwave for 6 minutes, and then I go for it. And then when it's clear and it's one cohesive mixture and you can't tell, you know, the difference between part A and B, it's ready. So I'm pretty sure I'm fairly ready to go here. And then I have my molds all ready, and so I filled my cups with colorant, and in this one I'm just using mica powders. So I used blue mica powder, and then I used black mica powder. Is there glitter in there? It's hard to tell. I really like glitter. I will add glitter to anything. Okay. And then it's looking like clear. Why did I pour clear in a different cup? Oh, I see. I went with a translucent color. Oopsie. It's been a while since I made this video, so y'all gonna have to forgive me. Okay. So I went with a translucent color, and sometimes I pour those in beforehand and sometimes I do it after, and just know it doesn't matter. So I look like I'm stirring at warp speed, but I'm not. I probably stir this faster than I, you know, do when I'm mixing the resin, but you know, you just want to get it fully incorporated. Sometimes I feel like I don't get it stirred quite well enough, and then the colorants don't fully mix the way I'd want. So I think maybe I poured glitter in there, a blue glitter. Yes, I did. Okay. So all the colorants have been added and mixed, and I'm tapping the cups to make sure that they're not getting too warm. And then there isn't really much rhyme or reason to how I am pouring the colorants in here. I am just going for it. So I felt like these colors would make amazing contrast to the white that I drew on initially, and I'm just kind of, you know, dumping it all in there as I see fit, really. So I'm going to pour it around all through each Mandala coaster. They take 3, maybe 3.5 ounces each, I guess. I don't think it's a full 4, because one time I thought it was 4 and then I had too much. Well, for the coasters, but I have like a trillion molds over here that are like off to the side, so there's never really too much. I can just find another mold to make an unexpected piece, and those almost always go well, actually. So I get through pouring this last one. I have some left over. Did I intentionally have some left over? Because I already had that ashtray out from the beginning. Anyway, so this one I didn't do a dirty pour like I often do. I think I just kind of randomly dumped the colors into the ashtray when I was done filling the mandala molds. And it was like, let's see what happens, guys. Okay, anyway. So here I'm just making sure they're all the way full, but you know, I'm kind of like, I won't say triggered, but I had that one incident where I had those leaf molds that I overfilled and I felt like the whole project was ruined. So ever since then, I have just been super cautious about not overfilling my molds. So I just made sure they were as full as possible, and then I dumped the rest of the clear with the glitter into the cigarette, it's not cigarette, really, ashtray mold. Stop it, Lauren. The ashtray mold. And then just pour the rest of the colors just down the middle, just to see what kind of effect it would give me, because I love to experiment. I might have mentioned that before. So that's a translucent, I think it's translucent black. So anyway, I fill up the ashtray mold, and then whatever little bit goes into the mandalas. And then I didn't like how they were just kind of sitting there stringy. So not stringy, but like just kind of randomly sitting in there with no rhyme or reason. Not really cohesive or combined in any kind of way. So I just kind of took one of my popsicle sticks and swirled it up a little bit. And I didn't really care if it stayed swirled, but I just feel like it would help mix, you know, the colors better. Well, it looked better to me, so that's what mattered. So I just go over all of it now with my heat gun, because it's my thing, to pop all of the bubbles. I'm gonna get my mouth together, y'all, I swear. Pop all of the bubbles, and just make sure all the colors are wonderfully blended and cohesive together. Sometimes I turn it on high and just kind of blow it around a little bit, and sometimes I just turn it on and pop bubbles, you know, just whatever I feel like. Do you, right? Okay, so this is the next morning, as you can kind of see from the light streaming in on the right. And it's time to demold. And so here we go. I really think that ashtray turned out beautifully. Of course, my favorite color is blue, so I'm really biased, but the sparkle and then the translucence here and there, and then the mixture of the two colors just kind of gives it that effect. The types of colors, the heavier with the light, just kind of gives it that effect when you add heat. All right, so pulling off the mold there, and I'm really happy with the way that overall turned out. Can't kind of see it here, but because of the way that the paint marker thing dried, it kind of almost gave it a crackled sort of look, which is, it's kind of hard to capture here, but the contrast really turned out beautifully. I was really a huge fan. These molds are a little bit tricky to get off because because of the detail, they almost feel like they kind of stick. They don't really stick, but they're strongly connected to the resin, I guess. But they come off okay as long as you pull gently. So anyway, that's all I've got. I'll get you a nice close-up of all of the pieces, and a last view of everything, and that'll be it. So I hope you like what you saw. If you did, please like and subscribe, and thanks for coming by. I'll see you next time.